All right, let's go to Wombat's Overwatch onslaught at multi-platforming, etc., etc. Let's talk about Bethesda's review policy announcement that they posted on their blog. They said that they will no longer be sending critics early copies of the games. In recent times, they've started this new thing where they only send the critics the copies the day before release, I guess, or the day of release. Or maybe they mail it out the day before. I don't know when they actually get it. But and the reason for this was that they stated was that they wanted everybody to enjoy the games at the same time. That's important. Except for
I think, and where that makes sense is, in these online multiplayer games, it actually makes a lot of sense. And I think it would probably be better for the consumer if review copies weren't sent until after the game was actually live and out there. Because we've seen a handful of games this year alone where,
but that's not what they said.
Environment. Though. I know. I'm just saying there's better reasoning for this policy than what Bethesda came up with. Now
they don't need a reason. They tried to come up with a reason for something they don't need a reason.
Exactly.
And that's true tue. And so I don't know. Let them do what they want.
That blog post did not need to. That was almost like just antagonizing all the games media for no reason.
I know, but it was pretty funny to read all the tweets about it.
All the sour grapes.
Yeah, it was pretty amusing.
That was actually a comment from one of our listeners. Where is that?
It's right here. Patrick Bishop had to say, the think pieces from Gaming Press today about Bethesda decision reek of sour grapes. What do you guys think?
I mean, I totally get it with the games media. I get the response, but you have to understand that these companies are going to do what's best for them, and they actually do the research to find that out. I don't think that this was just some decision that some guy just pulled out of his ass. They must have done research that showed that early reviews don't help them or possibly hurt them.
And they said Bethesda's going to give games review copies out a day early, which, if anything, helps out Twitch streamers and YouTubers.
That's a totally different situation too, because they've already got plenty of YouTube and Twitch streamers out there streaming these games early, weeks before.
So they don't really. Yeah. It's not about everybody playing together at the same time, I guess.
Right. And if you're a consumer and you really want to see the game the day before it comes out, you're going to be able to see the game the day before it comes out.
You'll be able to see it.
You may not
weeks and months is what we're saying, because they're giving it to the streamers, the ones that the super enthusiastic streamers,
the ones who aren't going to shit on the game as they're playing it.
Right.
And even in that situation where, even an enthusiastic streamer that's telling you how much they love what they're playing, being able to watch it does lend itself to letting you decide for yourself in ways that some written reviews may not be able to.
At the same time, that's giving, for better or worse, that's giving a lot of power to the basically advertising here with these streamers.
Of course it is. It's part of controlling the message.
Because it's not, those aren't critical reviews.
No, they are not. I think as a consumer, you need to understand that going in, that when you're watching these early streams that are, authorized by the publisher, the opinion is.
But you're watching somebody play. It's like not like this.
But exactly.
It's not a review.
You're seeing the game. Yeah, but if you're seeing the actual game,
you make your own decision.
You can't say I didn't know what I was getting when I bought this game because you watched someone play an hour of it.
Sure. It's,
I think we're just going to see this more and more from the AAA companies that don't need the reviews.
Yeah.
Right.
And if someone wants to play, it's not like someone's going to I watched an hour of this guy play Skyrim. I had no idea it was an RPG.
Yeah, you'll get you only need to watch for 2 minutes and you know what a game's about. And it doesn't, you'll still get an idea. You may not need a review. The company, they just want to control the message. And if they can, then if they can do it, and they can through YouTube streamers and Twitch streamers, then they're just going to do it that way. I mean, they
get to control the message. The consumer still gets to see what the game is like before it's released and make their educated decision. It just may require a little bit more outside thought than in the past.
We all know why they do it. I don't, and if I was running a company,
it's the same reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same reason Bethesda does E3 like they do now.
They figured out, they must have decided that this way is better for them. Their job is not
their own.
They don't care how many
show out. They don't have to listen and do individual presentations for all the different press outlets.
Right.
And they have a focus message. It has a web broadcast at the same time, so it streams to everybody at the same time.
Yeah.
It makes good business sense.
Right. Their job is
if you make good games and you have a trusted name with IP that people know. I don't know that this makes perfect sense for Dishonored 2.
Dishonored 1 was really good, though.
It's not exactly a household
I don't
game,
think
though.
Dishonored 2 has the huge following and fan base.
No, it doesn't.
A great.
It's going to be interesting to see if that hurts or helps. Skyrim, I don't think they need to send out early review copies on.
Right. Bethesda's not in the business of making sure that gaming websites get all the hits, by getting early review copies. And, we like these websites and I want to see them do well, but Bethesda and these other companies, it's not their duty to do what's best for these websites. It's their duty to do what's best for their company, and they've decided that this is the way to go. So what can you do besides complain about it on Twitter and write articles?
You can become an enthusiastic streamer.
Right. I do agree with you, Shiv, that there was no reason for that blog post. It was just...
No, yeah, that was just weird.
It was almost like just taunting them.
Maybe that was what they were doing. I don't know. Made my afternoon go a little faster, so, I don't mind.
Right.